that story?
We shall see. Dun dun dun. I mean, it's interesting. I mean, we can't, the show can't go into like a lost mode. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not the format of the show. We shall see. We shall see. Keep watching.
Danai Gurira.
My question is, most people who are aspiring actors, they take whatever they can get their hands on, whether it be extra work or theater or anything like that. Where did you start? Did you ever do any extra work? Did you ever do anything small, like independent films, anything like that?
Let's go for both of you guys.
Yeah, I was definitely one of those actresses who just did whatever she could get her little hands on. I started in New York. I'm from New Jersey originally, so I went to New York, and my first sort of entryway was as an extra on All My Children. And thanks. I did some good walking. And then I just sort of, you sort of build from there. I mean, everyone's story and everyone's path is different, but I would say for the most part, yeah, it was little piece after little piece, a guest spot here, a guest spot there, and then you just hope that you are able to land a role that allows people to see you in a different light, which unfortunately, I don't know if you feel the same way, but unfortunately right now in our industry that's becoming less and less of an opportunity for a lot of actors coming up, because the independent world is it's becoming very small. It used to be a lot bigger. There used to be a lot more independent films coming up. But yeah, I mean that was my sort of process, and just pounding the pavement. After The Walking Dead, I shot a movie, Final Destination. After Final Destination, I didn't work for 18 months. And I was auditioning every day. So, it's never, and that could absolutely happen to me again. Because that's just sort of the nature of this business. So that's kind of what I always say to people who ask me how to get involved or what to do, how to start. Is like you just do it every day, and you don't expect. Unfortunately, you can't expect anything to happen to you. It will if you keep putting the time and you put in the work. But you could go through periods of not working, and that's absolutely normal. So.
Yeah, I think my entryway was a little odd, I guess. I went straight from college to grad school, and then after grad school, I was in New York. I was at Tisch. So I created a play with a co-classmate, and we performed it and we wrote it, and that's kind of how I entered into the business. Was like this bizarre off-Broadway hit that I co-created, but I was the writer and I was the performer. So I kind of stepped into the realm of being a professional actor through that door, which I guess was a little unusual. And then I was also still very beholden to keeping, my playwriting going. And then there were times where, as that kept developing over time, there were things I wouldn't go in for necessarily. I was always a theater actor. I'm still a theater actor. I love theater. It's probably my first love in many ways. And so, yeah. I was always doing that. But there were times, and then I was always auditioning for TV and film and whatever. And I've done some indies and done bits of TV before this, and recurred in one show before this role came. But it was always, there were times I started to actually say I would rather be writing and working on developing that play than going in for that and that role. So it was really about what my artistic vision was, and sometimes that was about shutting certain doors so I could work on other things. And that kind of was, kind of weird at moments for my acting manager. He was like, really? Sometimes it's a good thing, because in terms of doing this role, the year before I got this role, I was just about to be cast in a TV show that would have locked me down. It was a TV show I didn't love. It will remain nameless. And it was like a role that, was just kind of rudimentary and not interesting to me. But it was going to be a TV role, it was going to pay me. I turned down going in for that last round and signing the contract. and because I knew my play was about to go into production, and I was the playwright, but I needed to be there for it to have its world premiere. And my acting manager's like, what? And I'm like, well, I have to do this. There's no way. These three great theaters want to do my play, and I cannot not be there for this TV show. And thankfully, I wasn't, because that was in 2011. In 2012, I was doing my plays, and guess what audition comes up at the end of that pilot season when I was not available, but now I was available again and hadn't been locked into that other show. That's when The Walking Dead comes up. And now my acting manager's like, oh, cool. So it worked out. But sometimes you have to kind of hold on to what your vision is, and it might make everyone go, you're crazy, but you have to hold on to your own vision.
Woo!